Hey, what's up guys, this is Anthony from Anthony's Customs, and for this review, we are looking at the Storm Collectibles Street Fighter 6 ZANGIEF, or Zangief, depending on how you grew up pronouncing it. And I have to say, Storm's definitely had a thing for Zangief. I grew up saying it that way, and I don't know that it's necessarily wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's ZANGIEF. Storm's had a thing for this character. They've made like every version they could manage, and then lots of color variants and things, and they've all been pretty good figures, but I think, at least in some ways, this might be the best of this character, and maybe one of the best figures they've released. Again, at least in some ways maybe not, but there's a lot to like about this figure. They've done a lot of really nice things. So let's go ahead and get him off the stand and take a closer look. Alright, before we look at the figure, I do want to show you my package. It is a nice package, big character art right there, and then you get to see the figure and stuff. It's pretty much your standard Storm packaging. They are usually pretty darn good. They do a good job with the photos on the back. No real complaints. It's a nice package. You get a little bit of extra window at the top to get some light in there. It is a good package. Maybe not the best image to use for right there, but still a good package nonetheless. So let's go ahead and get into this. This guy is in stock at Big Bad Toy Store, by the way. If you want one, I'll put a link in the description below. He stands just shy of 9 inches. That's going to make him pretty close to, let's call it 22.5 centimeters. It's pretty much right there. And then there he is up against a Darwin. So he's got some real size to him. Here he is up against a figure from Storm, which is more normal size. So he's not as huge as maybe he could be. Now in Street Fighter 6, I don't know if they've toned down his size a little bit. I know they're going for this sort of like Uncanny Valley, semi-realistic, but still stylized, weird combination of looks. So, I don't know, but this seems to be the most on-model figure they've made. It looks really, really close to the source material, and I think that's great. Well, let's do a question of the day. Which version of Zangief do you prefer? I think I kind of like the pants. I like the pants, but I don't like that they're short pants, and I don't like all the extra things on him as much as like the traditional look. I know he's had some, but I'm torn. I don't know if I care too much either way. But it's a good looking figure, and let's go ahead and just get into the aesthetic. The skin tones are wonderful. It's a nice matte finish, maybe even a flat finish, and the shading is pretty dang well placed. It is very, very nice looking. His scars, they look more like cuts here rather than scars, but it's still pretty good. The paint jobs maybe aren't perfect on every single one. There's a little bit of extra flesh tone in there, but it is a pretty darn good looking figure. They did just do a little bit of airbrush shading for the nipples, and this one's maybe not exactly placed, but still looks pretty good. But the thing I like, two things I like the most about this guy would be the difference in finishes, the flat organic parts, and then the clothing, which is metallic here and then not metallic here, and then the boots. It's a really, really nice looking figure as a result of those paint jobs. And the sculpt is great, especially on the boots. It's super clean. Like that a lot. But then the faces are just incredible. These are easily Storm's best faces. They are so well done. The sculpts are great. The paints are almost equally great. They are really, really nicely done, and you'll see again when we look at the accessories. It's a really sharp looking figure. The hair, they gave it extra detail to match the Street Fighter 6 aesthetic. Same thing for the beard. Same thing for his shin flaps of hair, which I hate. But yeah, it looks really nice. They do have some soft goods on here for the elbow pads and the knee pads. I'm not thrilled with that. I don't think it really adds much. And they still get bunchy and in the way, so I think they should have just put soft goods on, or soft plastic on there like they have traditionally done. But man, does that look nice. Like if you like Zangief, here, let's do another question of the day. Do you say Zangief or Zangief? I do it both ways. I grew up as a kid saying Zangief back when I said Ryu. Ryu I was able to shake, but I don't talk about Zangief enough to have gotten better at it. Either way, it's a really, really, really good looking figure. The shading and the skin tone is just so nice. And it's throughout too. It's on the hands, it's on the face, it's the shading, and it's really, really good. So aesthetically speaking, 9.8 out of 10. It's really nice. There's a few spots here and there that could be painted a little bit better. That's why it's not a full 10, but it looks really good. Way better than I expected it to. And if you're looking at his boobs and saying, well, those are weirdly shaped pecs, that's just the way he looks in the game, unfortunately. They gave him these kind of boob-shaped pecs, slightly boobish, because they point up so far out, like it's a weird shape for the pec, but you're probably not going to notice that too much once you pose him. Now, as far as accessories go, you get a total of 4 different heads, and they all look really, really, really good. The angry yelling head is just phenomenal, especially. They look fantastic. Same thing for all the hands. You get tons of hands. Sculpt work, paint work, phenomenal. Storm has really started hitting their stride, both with this line and the arena line, it seems. So, you know what? They get a lot of flack for not finishing rosters, and I do hate that. They collect, they collect licenses like Pokemon, but at least the ones they put out they're getting better and better and better. So here's hoping they just keep trudging along, and we eventually get the characters we want, because the figures are getting nice, like really nice. And then as far as effect parts go, we do maybe have a bit of an issue, because I have 2 of the exact same one, and based on the photos, I think that might be the way they meant for it to come. I'm not sure. So if you guys have this figure, let me know if you've got 2 of the exact same thing. They snap onto the hand nicely on this side, and that's clearly the hand they're meant to snap onto. But this one, they don't. And you would have it snapped this way, of course, if he's spinning. So if he's doing his cyclone thing, obviously I don't have it posed properly, but you would have him going in the same direction. And it doesn't snap onto this hand properly because it's meant for the other hand. So, I don't know, did they just screw up on mine, or did they screw up on all of them? Let me know, but that's definitely a bummer. But nice effect parts otherwise. I mean, they're sizable and they look good enough, so there's that. So, alright, as far as accessories go, 9 out of 10. The effect parts kind of screw it up, but I probably wouldn't be using them anyway. Alright, so now it's time for the articulation, and this is where this guy kind of starts to miss the mark just a little bit. For the neck, it's pretty much your standard neck. It's the ball peg that goes down into the body, so you can lean the whole neck. Oh, but it's really stiff. Yeah, you can do it, but it is very, very stiff, so you're going to have to fight with it a little bit, but it does work. Otherwise, the head rotates around. It is more limited because of the beard, and you're going to have to be really careful not to transfer that paint, so be aware of that. For the shoulders, it's the same type of shoulder that they always have with the ball peg, but the way it's sculpted, I guess to try to make the pecs look good, which is debatable, it's not as useful as some of the other shoulders. But you do get really good range on that ball hinge. It is squeaking. I've been moving this figure a lot. It hasn't seized up yet. If it does seize up, I'll lube it and we'll see. But you don't tend to get this seizing up so the thing is, it depends on how much the squeak is from. If there's PVC rubbing against the hard plastic, that might be causing the squeak. It kind of seems like that. Or if it's the 2 hard plastics rubbing together, that could seize up. You're almost never going to get a hard plastic seizing up against PVC. So we'll see. It's squeaky as all hell, but it's not seizing up, so it's just kind of a nuisance. It's not a real big deal. Bicep swivel works nicely, maybe better than most on their figures. Double jointed elbow, like it's just really, really limited. Even with the soft goods, I don't think that helps anything, frankly. The good news is you can just take them off. So if you don't like that design element, or don't like soft goods, or don't want them in the way, you can just remove them. So that's kind of nice, but he's not going to get significantly better range with those removed. You have to really force it to get the top joint to work, and then the bottom joint just it's really, really limited. That's unfortunate. So that kind of blows. But we'll put that back for now. Wrists are on your usual ball hinge. That's pretty nice. These are floating pieces. For the torso, it's the same as Storm's figures usually are. I can't speak English, guys. I didn't get enough sleep last night. He doesn't have the best range. It doesn't look bad. Like, you can get some gapping going on, but only if you're really trying. It doesn't have the most range, though. It's probably sufficient. Leaning back maybe works a little bit better. But again, it looks pretty good. And you could force it a little bit more, probably. I'm trying to do what's comfortable so that the casual collector doesn't just start going and cranking on things and breaking them. You should be fine, I think, though, with what it can do. He's a little bit more limited in the torso, maybe because he's so thick, and he does have a thick torso. This is a giant chunk of plastic right here. But it has pretty good range. Let me get that back forward. It has good range at a lower torso joint, so that's pretty nice. Of course, you're going to get your rotation at both joints. I don't try to use this joint to rotate too much because it's really a pain in the ass to get it back in place. Because of the soft shell here, I don't really like messing with that, but you can do it. But you're going to get a lot of rotation down here, so that's good. That's alright. For the hips, again, for the squeaking, I don't know if we're going to have to lube that up or not. I guess we'll find out. But full-on splits, no nuggets. Those work pretty nicely. Oh, man. It doesn't feel like it's seizing up, but that is the worst sounding joint I've ever heard, I think. Oh man, bringing the leg forward. He gets up to almost horizontal, that's fine, and it's not a bad looking situation there. The shorts flex well enough, so that's okay. Going back, you get pretty decent range also with the cheeks stretching. So yeah, not too bad. You make sure you tuck that in. Thigh swivel, it goes in more than it goes, oh no, I guess it goes out pretty far too, you just have to push it. So yeah, that's a pretty nice thigh swivel actually. Double jointed knees, we have the same issue as the elbows. The soft goods don't really help. You're getting just about 90 degrees, and if you want to move the soft goods, this guy is the squeakiest figure. You could try lubing him, but you may end up with loose joints. Getting the knee pads out of the way, you can't really do it. I mean, unless you're just going to actually try to remove them, but it's kind of a pain in the butt because of the flap of fur that sticks out of his boots. So I don't love that, but the knees have very limited range. This figure doesn't pose that well. And then for the ankles, well, let's use this foot. Ankles go pretty far back. Almost no forward, which is par for the course for Storm. Ankle rocker is super steep and very stiff. And then the toe hinge, I'm guessing, it's a better toe hinge than they normally do. It's not great. It's a little bit soft there, but it's okay. It's alright. So his articulation, definitely the weakest part of the figure, but the aesthetics on this guy are so nice that I think it makes up for it. But let's talk about the articulation with the rating. I'm going to go 6 out of 10. I think I have to go 6 because the arms and knees are both limited at 90 and the ankles aren't great. Torso's only okay. Yeah, it's not the best for posing, but I don't think anybody bought Zangief thinking he was going to be a Dalsim or Dalsim. Another question, how do you pronounce that? But yeah, boy does this figure look good. This guy looks really, really good. If you squint your eyes just a little bit, it doesn't look like an action figure. They did a really, really nice job on this. So he's definitely winning points for the aesthetic. His accessories are good, except for the effect part situation, so I don't know about that. And his articulation's only questionable, so we can't have it be that high of a score. But I'm comfortable going 8 out of 10. If you are in the market for a figure like this guy, this design, you are going to enjoy this figure. It gave me that little fuzzy feeling in my insides when I opened it because it just looks so darn good. They did a really nice job. It feels like whoever designed this really gave a crap. So I wish it posed better. I wish the accessory situation wasn't what it is. Isn't what it is, wasn't what it was, isn't what it was. But it's still really, really good. So yeah, I'm going to stick with 8 out of 10. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below, but that's it for me. So thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please do give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down. And if you haven't subscribed, you should. I have new videos just about every single day and thousands already on the channel. So make sure you come back for all of that. And in the meantime, keep collecting.